So to achieve the best spatial temporal resolution in healthy subjects, then the combination of fMRI and EEG at the same time has been attempted, but not been very successful for the special technical issues and also for the analysis. Do you know if recently something else came up?
I don't know. I do scalp EEG, and there are so many artifacts already to deal with that I cannot imagine what it would be like to have fMRI also. So I haven't even dared.
So EEG
looking at that.
compatible with the fMRI.
Yeah.
But it's kind of also an analysis. Problem to collect with
Right. Yeah. I have not ventured in that direction.
We have a group here, Tom Lu's group, which you probably know, is
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Now I mean, they claim they can clean up the EEG and the fMRI data from the mutual noise, mutually caused, inflicted noise.
But
I don't have the expertise to, but they get it published in your image, so there seem to be peer reviewers who believe them.
Because
So-
they're doing the same thing, probably.
Hmm?
Because they're doing the reviewers are probably doing the same
No,
thing.
I mean, I would be facetious. No, so it is doable at CFMRI, for sure.
Maybe for
I
clearer
know that
signals.
the dribble, I didn't know like how successful was it.
It's very uncomfortable, I can tell you.
How
We
they
have a
combining
Signal,
fMRI
the
and
data loss rate
eye
of
tracking is it was
50% or
painful.
so.
I did it, but I can imagine like also introduce another stuff.
Right. Well, maybe for clearer signals like perceptual signals.
Right,
It's
depends
easier.
what also.
Or if you want to look at frontal activity, it's going to be harder, probably.
And so the second question was, when in the beginning you show that graph that they said then we come back about the curve that was moving according to the different regions, and then
Oh yeah, the interface.
yeah, I was interested in that.
Oh, when I this one or this one?
No, really?
This one?
No, back, it's actually
That's it.
Come back.
more.
No, that's the
Oh,
This
Ah.
one, yeah.
yeah, when it
Oh.
says moving, you see that.
right. Yes. So actually, what this study did is it's a lot of work, but they tracked with the high gamma activity in
Mhm.
time, depending on and in space when someone was naming a verb. So what I wanted to do is to manipulate the difficulty of word retrieval
Right.
and look at the effects of word retrieval on these activities. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so what I'm looking at, where the effects are mainly is the frontal cortex. So on these activities here,
Mhm.
right, that are between the stimulus and the response,
Right.
yeah, theoretically that's where people would do
Yeah.
word retrieval. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fascinating that motor cortex has two peaks, and one very early,
Yes.
and then one
Right.
presumably at the time of response. Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
make some people happy.
Yeah, right. Well,
For the motor theory.
Liverman and these people have. But I mean, the other possibility is the participant knows that they eventually have to produce a response, so it
Yes.
could also be some kind of
Yeah.
motor preparation,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, so what this study didn't do is manipulate difficulty or each of these stages, so
Mm.
we can't really say.
But if it were some sort of preparatory motor response, it should be time locked to the RTs as well, right? So the early one is very time locked to stimulus onset, and the later peak is time locked to RTs,
Yeah, that's true.
suggesting that they are are really, the earlier one is really the stimulus.
Well, but they could be preparing not knowing what they're going to say. You know, just,
Right.
yeah.
I have to say something.
Yeah.
Is there a way to record, like, so like you can record their facial movement, or because the other problem is you have all those dots, but you like you don't know where they're coming, what else is going on.
What do you mean?
But or like
How it's correlated to motor output,
or just if the person would move their hand or was doing something else.
well, hopefully across trials you would have that.
But if you could like record like facial muscles,
Yeah, that would be
really interesting.
Doctors are hesitant to put more things on these people because they're already pretty miserable with everything on it. Yeah, it's not easy.
So I was curious if you could talk about what we know and or think about the relationship between intracranial recordings and scalp EEG.
Well,
How
that's
this high gamma activity relates to what we might be measuring.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So actually, there are several papers that are out looking at components that people have studied in scalp EEG, the M400, the P300, and basically they point to the idea that there's more than one source. So these components that we look at on the surface are some of activities that happen at the that we can measure at the cortical surface. So Eric Halgren has two papers showing that for the M400 and the P300. In Bob Knight's group, they just had a paper come out showing that. So yeah, it's a sum of processes.
But of these high frequency
well, we can't. We can't record high gamma at the surface.
Right. That's why I'm curious how they relate to each other. Whether it's something related to the high gamma activity that's leading to the scalp components, or whether they're two completely different things.
Well, the lower frequencies, the theta and alpha frequencies and lower, you can maybe are what you see at the surface that are summed. So some of these lower frequency components, maybe.
So the high gamma, or you say you not call it high frequency band.
Yes.
How high does it go? And is it the more local, the higher the frequency, because conduction, axonal conduction delays must play a role, right? And they probably also play a role in the phase amplitude coupling, that distal regions cannot communicate in high gamma because
that's right. Yeah.
it's just
There's
not.
no time. Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, and I don't know what to say.
I mean, so you were showing some figures where it went all the way up to, I don't know, 200 hertz or so, or 150 hertz.
Yeah, they go.
Is that just where your ability to measure it ends? Your temporal resolution is limited, or is that really where the brain ends? So where neurons,
no, so
the fastest neurons go.
There is a study. So most people have stopped looking after 300 hertz or 250 hertz.
Yeah.
Because often the sampling rate doesn't go above 1,000, and so you can't look above around that there.
Yeah.
So that's the limit of the sampling. But sometimes you can record higher, and because you can't record higher at all sites, that's why people just usually. But there's this one study that I heard of called the voice of neurons or something like that. I could find the name again, but what he did is he put earphones on and listened to the ECOG signal, and there was a sound, right? The neurons or the electrical activity at some point was in the audible range. That means that he recorded. He was Millsap, I think his name. It's like an IEEE conference paper. So he and I don't know like what this means. It's this only one study, but he showed activity like in 10,000 hertz range when people were producing language or hearing speech or something like that. So there is, I'm sure there's something more, there's something above 250 hertz that we don't know much about. Yeah.
Well, isn't it sort of related to the depth? Like, would that be better imaged with the depth electrodes that way than the surface? Because what does this EPUB really measure physiologically?
Well, we think that it's the macro colors.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's postsynaptic, some kind of
Yes.
sound postsynaptic, right? And the depth electrodes maybe are
Yes.
more
So-
similar to what
yeah. So
single
people are-
unit kind
yeah.
of
Well, people are doing single unit recordings now
in humans?
with ECOG, with depth electrodes
Mhm.
that have little probes that come out of them.
Right, so that's closer to like really single
Yeah.
unit activity, which
Right.
is in, what is the frequency range of the electrode firing?
I don't know.
That might be higher than the
Yeah.
summation, right?
Yeah,
So maybe that could be,
Yeah. maybe,
Deeper
but
resolution.
I don't think that study used depth recordings.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But that would be something to look at.
Because I think the people who recorded the MNS activity in monkeys, that's an audible signal.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can, there are presentations out there. So that made me think that, you know, actual single unit electrodes like can be amplified
Right.
to our audible range.
Yeah. That's the future. Any more questions? Yes.
I had a question about when you were mentioning the patients with these seizures, how
Yes.
they have some different brain organization that can be affecting what you're looking at. And I wonder if you could talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
What kind of patterns are seen?
Right. So patients with epilepsy have been shown to have more bilateral language or organization, for example, using fMRI. So that has been shown. And yeah, I mean, the patients with the tumors, for example, those, they're pretty amazing because when you stimulate Broca's area, you think you have a language disruption, right? Well, you almost never do. You almost never have a language disruption if you stimulate Broca's area directly. So that could mean that, you know, either you're not stimulating at the right place on Broca's area, or Broca's area has moved somewhere else in these patients because of the tumor. And yeah, the cortical stimulations in the patients I didn't even show you because there's just really rarely effects at the voltage that is used in the hospital, in this hospital at UCSF, because they use pretty low voltage. So yeah, I think there's just a lot of reorganization, and we don't know exactly how it reorganizes, or I can't tell you like, oh, if you have an epileptic focus in IFG, then you'll have the language that goes there, because people don't know that yet. So that's, we still need to study that.
Because these are pathology from the brains, and in order to validate these results, one of the tools could be like using TMS studies. But however, those are
Right.
not as precise as
Right.
the signal are to
Yeah.
kind of backfire the signal and to see what's happening in the healthy brain.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You had the slide comparing fMRI activation
Yes.
and
You want to see that again?
the direct vertical stimulation.
That was for you.
No, it's against me. No, what I found interesting was that it seemed like the accuracy for language was low overall. Specifically, okay, but sensitivity is very low.
Yeah.
but then for motor, hand motor,
Yes.
it's really high.
Yeah.
So I wonder why, I mean, so obviously, the techniques that you're comparing are the same. One possibility would be that maybe it's difficult for a language task to really administer it exactly the same way in an fMRI setting as
Yeah,
during surgery, right? This
Right.
is actually
that's true,
data
yeah.
that you get during surgery.
We need to have
Um,
more than one trial, and then maybe that's gonna produce variability.
Right.
There are many reasons that are also described in the manuscript about ways in which gold signal can be affected due to the tumor. So your reorganization of the blood vessels due to the tumor, that's also something. But what is used for, what people use now is MEG for lateralization. So they do pre-op MSI to look at, and then they map, instead of doing the WADA procedure, they do MEG to see to find the site of the hemispheric dominance. But fMRI can be used in the same way. That was one of the conclusions also of that paper, is that fMRI was very good for lateralizing. I mean, you know, it's good for more things.
Spatial resolution.
No, but
oh,
I know. No, but in terms of pre-op, you know,
Yeah.
Something that you would use to before surgery,
Still better than the
right?
water, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
not as invasive. It's not
Exactly.
invasive, etc.
Right.
So, and again, yeah, this is really if you're gonna resect someone's brain afterwards, you better be really sure, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that fMRI is not giving valuable results. But,
But in this case, the task for the language was for which one?
oh, there were several tasks. I don't remember exactly.
So was it administered exactly like in the song? Like how do you?
Yeah, I'm sure there are ways that, you know, they differ in many ways. Like
Yeah.
many trials and,
Yeah.
yeah, right,
Clearly that is also one thing.
right, yeah. Yeah.
For the semantic interference graph, that's a very basic question, but which item in the whole paradigm, after which item you get that interference? Like how many trials they have
Oh.
to see, so
After the second time.
after the second
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. So the first one, they don't get it
Yeah.
usually, but the second trial onwards, they have a semantic interference. And sometimes it's as big as 15 milliseconds, that effect, so it's pretty big.
Does it kind of doesn't that speak directly against that one model that you showed? I think it was Dell or you had one of
Yes. Why did
these
it?
cognitive models
Why
very
would-
beginning, because I think, and then no, not this one, this one. So the idea that you proceed from a general semantic category onto a specific lexical item. If that was true, then you should really only have a priming effect, but I think not the interference effect, right?
Well, the idea is that at that stage, in Gary Dell's model, the items compete, right? Well, they don't, like, there's no lateral competition, but they're, you know, like if you just name whale, it's going to be harder to name dog or even more dolphin, right? And so in order to boost the activation of dog, there's an external mechanism, supposedly hosted in the left IP, that comes and helps boost that activation of dog, so that to overcome the activation of whale. So that there's this external module that comes in, and that would theoretically be supported by our data with the prefrontal activation. Yeah.
More questions? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
So